he gets the reward, you get the reward because you taught that person, you saved someone's life indirectly, but it was through your means. Right? Obviously Allah Ta'ala does everything, we understand that, we acknowledge that, but through your teaching, right, that person learned and then he helped another person, that person's going to get reward, you also get the reward as well. So any beneficial knowledge that you leave behind is going to help you. And by the way, I want to take this time to leave an important note, and that is the responsibility of teaching our kids is whose? It's the parents' responsibility. It's not my responsibility, the maktab teacher. Not the imam's responsibility. That is very important for every parent to learn and to know. Right? And why is that important? The third part will mention it, right? So it's the responsibility of the parents. It's the responsibility of the parents to send their child. If they can teach them themselves and they have the sufficient knowledge, then they should do it. If they don't, they say that I need to brush up on my own knowledge and I'll go to a scholar and he will teach him or she will teach him the right way, then that you should do. But you should make sure you follow up with the teacher. Make sure the student is coming on time. Make sure the student is benefiting. Make sure the student is fulfilling his homework or her homework. Right? Make sure the child is, learning, not just wasting their time. And if the child is not listening to the teacher, make sure you are taking away their gadgets and stuff to make sure that child benefits. Because the responsibility is not the teachers in Islam, the responsibility is the parents. So if the child doesn't learn what it needs to learn, the responsibility is not the teacher, it's the parent's responsibility. And why is that so important? The third thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, the Prophet ﷺ mentions, that doesn't end after a person dies, is a pious, righteous child that prays for their parents. A pious, righteous child that prays for their parents. I'm sure most people, when they pass away, their parents, their own children, are reading that same janazah namaz, the janazah salam. So, if you have taught your child, or you took that responsibility and upon your shoulders, you make sure your child knows how to pray that janazah salam, you, the parent, will get the reward as well. So this program has happened because the son wants to remember their parents. And so, the reward that they get, they want to give that reward to the parents. So the parents, they're in their grave, but they're also part of us in getting the reward. So these are the things that doesn't end with a person's life ending. That's why we have, for example, this youth program. And all of it ties together. Right? That's why we have the youth programs. To make sure that our youth also participate and they also learn. And they also get encouraged. Because like I mentioned, it's not my responsibility. Our youth is the parents' responsibility. So we have these type of programs, and this is what we want to teach our kids. And the people who have passed away today, and this is what they taught their kids. That's why they're having a dua mahfil today, to remember and make dua for their parents. This is the implementation exactly of that hadith. The third thing is our pious, righteous child that prays for his parents or her parents. And so we are sitting here, why? To pray for the parents. And who has arranged that? The son. Now, when we pass away, obviously we want our children to pay for us as well. Because we won't be able to do any good deeds. So as much as we can get, we want to get. And so we have, sadaqah jariyah, you're giving money in someone else's hand, it's up to them to run it. Knowledge, you're giving it to someone else's hands, right? It's up to them to act upon it and you benefit. But we trust more than someone else our own children, right? If you have a business, 9 times out of 10, you're going to trust your son to run that business after you, right? Because first of all, you know that, he has to listen to you. And you know that you can control. But generally, you trust your children more. So from all the 3 things the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, the most important one is the third one, your child. Why? Because you can't guarantee other people acting upon or doing with the charity that you gave them. But your child, you know your child very well. So if you train your child very well, and if you teach your child very well, then that child will pray for you after you pass away. And that's something more that you can trust your child to pray for you than trusting someone else, sending you the rewards. Because you know that your child has an attachment to you, and you have an attachment to your child. So this is the most precious thing, and this is what, anyone would say, Life is all about your kids. Once you get kids, then, everything that you own and you work towards is not for yourself. It's for your kids. Right? You're working so hard and you're earning a lot of money. Why? So that you can provide for your family and most importantly, your kids. And when you grow old, then you expect them, hope, at least nowadays in today's time, with the culture and everything changing, the most you can do is hope that they will take care of you when you need their help. Like how you took care of them when they were a child. But that can only happen when you teach them that. So that's why it's important, right, to